The ideas that gave birth to our nation are the ideas that our nation is resistant to right now, and we should talk about that all the time.
In a world where narratives are shaped by corporations and gatekeepers, independent voices matter more than ever. Badlands Media brings together citizen journalists, researchers, and independent thinkers.
The truth is triggering.
Question the narrative. Explore the facts.
Its authenticity, courage, resilience.
Search for the truth others won't.
It's not about being first or being right.
The information war is changing.
It's about being authentic.
Embrace the friction.
Embrace the friction.
Shut the f*** up.
Authentically antagonizing. Join the movement.
I'm going to say how I feel.
Follow Badlands Media.
This is about the future.
The Badlands. What are the Badlands? Explain those Badlands. That's a hell of a name.
Mr. Vice President, I'm going off script again, I know, but I just want to personally thank you. We've been through some stuff. We've gone through some of the most complex military operations this country's ever conducted, and your steady hand and your leadership during those was a great source of strength for me. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your character. Thank you for your selfless service. Thank you for commitment. Thank you for being a mentor to me, Mr. Vice President.
It's called the swamp. And you know what happened? And you know what I did? A big favor. I caught the swamp. I caught them all. Let's see what happens. Nobody else could have done that but me. I caught all of this corruption that was going on, and nobody else could have done it. Did I get that one right? Every 4 years, we gather on these steps to carry out the orderly and peaceful transfer of power. Today's ceremony, however, has very special meaning, because today we are not merely transferring power from one administration to another, but we are transferring power from Washington, D.C., and giving it back to you, the people. For too long, a small group in our nation's capital has reaped the rewards of government, while the people have borne the cost. Washington flourished, but the people did not share in its wealth. This American carnage stops right here and stops right now. The forgotten men and women of our country will be forgotten no longer. From this day forward, a new vision will govern our land. From this day forward, it's going to be only America first.
This is a president of the United States who is a danger to the republic.
America first.
He knows he's an illegitimate president.
The oath of office I take today is an oath of allegiance to all Americans.
The great Trump recovery.
America will never be a socialist country. I will fight for you with every breath in my body.
Russia, Russian, pro-Russian, Russian, Russia, Russian, 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 the Russians. Russia,
Russia, Russia, Russia.
And I will never, ever let you down.
A dangerous virus is spreading rapidly in China, and U.S. officials are very worried that it could come here.
This is really the worst attack we've ever had. This is worse than Pearl Harbor. This is worse than the World Trade Center. There's never been an attack like this. The time for empty talk is over. Now arrives the hour of action. What they're doing is using COVID to steal an election. Together, we will make America strong again. You know what it's about? Fraud, fake ballot, We will make America wealthy again.
They are trying to steal the election.
Now, under the leadership of President Trump, we are fully realizing President Kennedy's prescient view of special operations forces.
We will make America proud again.
And watch, please, those mail-in ballots.
We will make America safe again.
And in millions and millions of ballots, their vote is under what they thought they needed.
They're dumping more ballots in there, okay? And yes, together, we will make America great again. Thank you. God bless you.
If we are right about the fraud, Joe Biden can't be president.
Congress, the chair declares the joint session dissolved.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday night edition of the Devolution Power Hour. Somebody in the chat bet that I would say, well, good evening, everybody. And so I took that bet and I did not say it. So, Jen Ray, you owe me $20. Chris, how you doing, man?
Good. If betting on that becomes a thing, that's great because you can decide the outcome.
Oh, exactly. That's why I love it. And
that's like the NBA.
Easiest $20 I've ever made. Speaking of NBA, aren't the Knicks playing tonight again?
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't watched the NBA in like 10 years.
I haven't either. I did watch the replays or like the highlights of the last game, the big comeback or whatever with Trump in the building. Or no, Trump wasn't in the building that game. He was in the game, building the game they lost. Are you into soccer? Did you watch any of that?
I watched last night. I watched the first game of the World Cup. Like, I'll watch the U.S. play. I'm not going to watch every game or anything. But I actually think World Cup soccer is awesome.
Really?
So, yeah, I've always liked it. I don't know. I used to play. I played soccer in high school. I went to a small school that didn't have football. And so, like, all the athletes played soccer and then basketball and baseball. I just remember watching, I think it was 1994. And I don't know, just the excitement of the whole thing. It just seems like a Super Bowl every week, you know?
Yeah. I can't get into soccer. I don't know why. I can't do it. I'll try. I didn't watch any of it.
It's slow. The U.S. played a really up-tempo game last night, especially in the first half, and it was like there was a lot of consistent excitement. So,
okay, well, maybe I'll give it a try next time. I mean, they don't play again for like what, another week or something?
I think probably. I think maybe it's Wednesday. I'll look.
Yeah, I don't know, 'cause there's more teams I heard than normal, and I don't know. The whole format's a little weird, but I know there are a lot of soccer fans in the world, so maybe I'll give it a shot. I am excited about the NHL playoffs, though. I hope Carolina wins. That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we don't need to talk sports. We got a lot planned tonight, I think. We should probably talk about the Iran war and how discombobulated everybody is and how we're going to get a peace deal tomorrow, but also probably going to bomb Iran tomorrow. The odds on both things happening are about the same. We had a new NSPM. And I don't think we need to go into details, but we can just like broadly cover it. We should probably even start with the Biolab declassification.
Oh yeah. That happens. Now we know.
I know. We're gonna love your point of view on that. we could also talk about the new UFO files we got yesterday briefly, because I did go see Disclosure Day last night, and the movie's retarded. It's like a really well-made retarded movie.
You're the second friend of mine who has said that to me. My friend Josh joined me for Badlands Story Hour a few weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
When Burning Bright was gone. And he went and saw it yesterday and immediately was telling me the same thing. It's just like a confused mess.
It is. And the ending is just so stupid. And like the way they try, maybe this isn't the part to talk about this, but I'm going to do it anyway. The way they try to like make profound moments throughout the film, but not a single time make any profound moment. It was really awkward. Like they kept trying, but nothing. I don't know. It makes me wonder though. Like I looked into the production of when they started making this film, and it was like 2024 is when they had the first meetings and stuff during the Biden administration. It made me think of what you always say about like a lot of the things we're going through right now are stuff that was probably going to happen anyway, and Trump is just derailing it. So like, Were they trying to do the alien D-class anyway? And like the Spielberg movie was going to somehow be a part of that. Now Trump like took all the air out of that balloon. The UFO D-class we got yesterday, I don't even think I saw hardly any mention of it on social media. Nobody cares. Nobody gave a shit anymore. Yeah. So all the air's out of that balloon.
All the air's out of that balloon. Yeah. I would suggest definitely this is one of those kinds of things that they had all of this lined up to hit at certain times to distract from other events. And you can see that script still playing. And I'm not saying that's the only script playing. People hear me talk about that script playing out and they're like, oh, you're blackpilling. You're saying no, I'm not saying that's going to win. I'm saying that there are multiple scripted narrative, like big picture narrative ops running at the same time. And it's just about distinguishing between them and figuring out where we should stand.
Yeah, Frederick Leathers in the chat asked if my faith was shaken, like Spielberg promised. My faith was shaken that he could make a good movie ever again. My belief in God is still there, and I certainly believe in hell because that's what like half the movie felt like. So I don't know, probably worth seeing though. Everybody can form their own opinion. I also think we should maybe. Have you read into any of the Anthropic ban at all?
I saw some headlines last night and looked at a couple articles, but it's not something that I've been tracking before that, so I'm not deeply familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I kind of want to talk about it still because
let's
I use
find an
cloud.
article and go through it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a political one pulled up. We can read through it, and then other than that, there's a new Spencer Pratt video. Doesn't appear he's going to be fighting the fraud. He's just going to be shit talking the two remaining candidates for a while. So we'll get into that too.
Yeah.
You disappointed?
I mean, I'm unsurprised. And again, man, I'm not trying to cast aspersions at the dude. Maybe that's not his role. And maybe he's going to draw a lot of attention to this California election. The problem is when you got Karen Bass and Nithya Raman, you've got an old school commie that seems very much under control by one side or the other in Karen Bass. And then you have Los Angeles' version of our boy Mom in New York. So where does that go? I don't know. It'll be interesting, I suppose. But I don't think we need another person saying, look, a commie.
Yeah, that's true. We have a lot of people doing that. We do have, I don't know if we want to get into it or not, but Hunter Biden said he'd be willing to run as vice president. He's fully into that op as long as Gavin Newsom is the candidate. So some interesting stuff there too. But let's get a quick word from a couple sponsors, and then we will start plugging away. And first up, I think we should let's do Native Path Krill. Get this video going for you guys. All right, this episode is brought to you by Native Path Antarctic Krill Oil, omega-3s, astaxanthin for heart, joints, and memory. Imagine an antioxidant so strong that researchers measured it as 6,000 times more powerful than vitamin C at neutralizing free radicals. It's called astaxanthin. It's why salmon and flamingos are pink, and now it's being called internal sunscreen because it may even help protect your cells from the sun's UV rays. The richest natural source, Antarctic krill. If you've been taking fish oil for heart, joint, or memory support, here's something you need to know. Research shows fish oil is 50% less absorbable than krill oil because fish oil's omega-3s are in triglyceride form, while krill oils are in phospholipid form, which is the same format your cell walls are made of. That means krill oil gets into your cells immediately, and in head-to-head studies, krill oil outperformed fish oil at improving cholesterol, reducing inflammation, and easing joint pain, often at lower doses. Native Path Antarctic Krill is sourced from pristine Antarctic waters, contains the powerful antioxidant astaxanthin, and comes in tiny soft gel format, so there's no fishy burps. And for this special offer, you can save up to 60%. Head over to getkrill.com/badlands. That's getkrill.com/badlands. You can try it risk-free with a 365-day money-back guarantee. We also got a little Rumble wallet. I'm going to do this now, and then we got another Rumble Studio ad here in like half an hour. So,
do you see our the spam account that just popped in the chat?
October 7th forever. Oh my gosh, amazing!
I mean, and he's got like the little stars of David spinning around as his avatar. But October 7th forever just makes it sound like he wants that to happen again and again and again.
That's true. I mean, I feel I've never flown a flying go-kart before, but I've heard they're fun. I think Dan, one of our Florida Badlanders, does it like routinely.
Yes, that's true. I saw that picture.
Yeah, I want to try it sometime. Anyway, we hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own and control your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of a bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're the one in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you've felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels quite complicated. That's exactly why we use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity, makes it super simple. You choose what you want, whether it's Bitcoin, dollar-backed stablecoins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. There's no complicated setup. It connects with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. And once you're set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like us here at Badlands directly. So do this now, scan the QR code, or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. And in just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. All right. Jake Giglio, John is going to freak out. October 7th, 10/7/17. That is a decode. That's a valid decode on October 7th. I had not thought of that before. See, now I wasn't sure if it was a fully White Hat Patriot Plan controlled event, but now I am.
Yeah.
Because of the date.
It was the idea that paragliding go-karts were flown over the most heavily secured border in the history of man with only a year's advance warning is hard to believe.
Yeah. The Iron Dome, the most sophisticated air defense system in the world, can stop everything but low-flying go-karts.
Should have been a Golden Dome.
It's true.
Could have done it with a Golden Dome.
What's better than Platinum Dome? Like, is Trump going to eventually update it to Platinum? But speaking of like super real serious events, let's talk about the Iran war a little bit because it's been a weird day. Trump, I'm going to see if I can even find the posts. Let me share my screen a little bit here.
He didn't post that much today, so you should be all right.
But what he did post was amazing. Yeah. We have a great post here. Everybody's getting discombobulated. And
so good.
If you live in the central time zone, this is a Q decode. If you don't, it is not. I'm sorry, but it's only for central time zoners. It was posted at 5:41. If you add all those up, that equals 10. And there's 7 planes, 17.
Yeah.
So
good.
Whatever that means. For central time zoners, you guys are protected. The rest of you are going to have to seek shelter or something. I missed this one. Wasn't
they're balling. I wonder what that building is. I missed that one too. That's pretty cool though.
Which world leader was just over in North Korea though? Xi?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Anyway, he had this long post about Iran and the nuclear deal and his agreement being the exact opposite. And here's the thing, like, we don't even know what the details of the agreement are because every time the news comes out with the agreement, he comes out and says, whatever you're reading from the news is fake. Trump says that we are going to be signing a peace deal tomorrow, allegedly. But Iran says it probably won't be tomorrow.
Yes.
What Iranian officials have said about the terms of the agreement have differed from U.S. descriptions. So it seems like we got a PR problem, or maybe there's no actually, I don't know, but it's coming soon or maybe not. Because we were told it was also going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that didn't happen. We almost bombed the living shit out of Iran Sunday, I think it was, but then that got postponed. I don't know. But then
we did bomb the shit out of them like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Did we though?
Didn't we? I thought overnight they did a bunch of bombing, and then by morning everybody was.
That's right.
Peace talks again. Yeah.
The self-defense strikes. They call them.
Yeah. Preeminent self-defense strikes. Or preemptive, I should say. Sorry.
They're probably preeminent too.
Yesterday, he said in the morning that J.D. Vance was going to be flown over to Europe to sign the deal. And I thought it was funny because last night they launched the operation to kill the Tren de Aragua guy down in Venezuela, while Marco Rubio was taking in a World Cup match next to Trump's boy, Johnny Infantino. And then today, supposedly, or tomorrow, maybe, JD was supposed to be over in Europe signing the Iran peace deal, and Trump is going to be watching the UFC fights at the White House.
Yeah, this is the video of the taking out of the Tren de Aragua guy.
Yeah, you can see him in there somewhere.
Yeah, he definitely like flies around the body parts, you know. This is probably the clearest picture of a bombing they've ever released. Most of the time they're like super grainy.
Yeah.
But this is like high def color and everything.
Yeah.
This is better quality than we got at the White House Correspondents Association shooting.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't know. Maybe the AI models are improving for.
Well, they did ban Fable for a reason, or whatever. Anthropic.
Crazy. You're doing so many good segues so quickly tonight that the show is going to be over in like 8 minutes.
Oh, that's okay. A little premature ending. Never hurt anybody. I mean, I'll be fine. The audience might be left wanting more, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So they apparently bombed this guy. They actually used. I think they said they worked with the Venezuelan leaders to do it.
Yep.
Did I read that somewhere? I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, they coordinated with the op and with intelligence, and it's funny because Tren de Aragua opposed the Maduro regime, and Maduro opposed obviously Tren de Aragua. He blamed the United States, the FBI, and the DEA for being the coordinating elements in America with Tren de Aragua. So then they removed, Trump, quote unquote, removes Maduro because he is a foreign dictator and terrorist. And then Maduro's number two stays in the government. Now they're a friendly government. Now they backstop us for oil and resources while this whole Iran thing is going on. And now we are comfortably working with them to get our enemies, who are also their enemies and were their enemies, even when our enemy, Maduro, was still in charge of that government. So
yeah,
it's good that we're getting all this settled.
It is interesting and very confusing at the same time. He says they no longer have safe haven in Venezuela. But they didn't prior either, though.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. But anyway, I love. You go ahead.
I sent you. I was sending to our Badlands chat today some screenshots from the Wikipedia entry for Tren de Aragua, and I don't think we've talked about this on this show anytime recently, but the Wikipedia entry for Tren de Aragua is pretty amazing. So anyway, they're quoting this guy Diosdado Cabello, which he was, I can't remember what his position was. Let me just click this for a second. But he accused the Venezuelan opposition leaders and former Colombian presidents of maintaining ties with the criminal group, using it for political destabilization purposes. And he claimed figures such as, and we can skip a couple of these, but along with Venezuelan opposition leaders like Juan Guaido, Leopoldo Lopez, Maria Hakuna Matata, and Edmundo Gonzalez. And so Juan Guaido was the man that Trump recognized as president of Venezuela in his State of the Union speech back in the first term. Maria Hakuna Matata was the woman that they gave the Nobel Peace Prize to. And
what happened to her?
Byrne and all them, she's rode off into the distance, I guess. This is who they were saying should be president because the election was stolen from her, although she wasn't running. Edmundo Gonzalez was running, and the election also was not stolen from him. They said that the basis for that claim was exit polling from Edison Research, the people that do our election night voter numbers. And then they also had some ballot receipts captured by the quote unquote opposition, which are these people. And on that basis, we are supposed to understand that Venezuela's government is illegitimate. Then there's this guy, David Smolansky, whose family line was Ukrainian Jews down to Cuba, down to Venezuela. And he is essentially seen as a leftist subverter of governments.
What the hell?
Yeah, it's crazy. This is the Venezuelan opposition to Maduro. Yeah.
And they're taking him out.
Yep.
Watch him send Maduro back.
That would be really funny, actually. But yeah, they have like shock troops and stuff. The accusations include human and drug trafficking, assassinations, and attacks against state institutions. And so if Cabello's claims there are correct, that would mean that what we have heard about the peace priziness of Venezuela's opposition is probably bullshit.
Yeah, I didn't know, but apparently just in June we broke up their money laundering network, which is notable.
Oh yeah, I did not read that either.
Yeah, that is interesting. Wonder if that was Besson and his boys. Besson and the gang. Yeah, this stuff's so interesting to me. The Venezuela stuff, the timing of it before what's happened in Iran.
And I've been thinking about that a lot this week because with all the talk about the Strait of Hormuz during the week and Trump's whole thing about how it was never actually closed, which is something that we've been saying from the beginning. Just the fact that the Venezuela story meant, narratively speaking, whether or not it's true, I have no idea, but that there would be no way to claim that we have such a shortage that prices would skyrocket the way I imagine they were intended to.
By the way, did Kristi Noem play a role in this bombing as the shield of the Americas?
Don't know.
We haven't heard a thing about her, and I was told from many very loud and annoying people on social media that her job now is going to be way more important than DHS, and I haven't heard a peep from her, and I've enjoyed every second. It's been great. But yeah, anyway, let me go back to True Social, see if there's anything else. Oh, by the way, we were supposed to remind you guys, tomorrow night is the EBS military tribunals / UFC fight from the White House. And Bernie Bright is going to be covering it all tomorrow. And I'm not even sure what time the fights start.
I think he said 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. First fight is at 8 p.m. Eastern. And so, yeah, you guys should all tune into Badlands. We can't stream the actual fighting because we'll probably get in legal trouble or something, but he's going to be watching it and you guys can watch it and he's going to be talking about it. And I think other Badlands people can join. John Drake is going to go live at 7 Eastern for his No Treason podcast. But yeah, so you guys should come hang out with Burning Bright and talk about dudes beating the shit out of each other at the White House.
Man, so Trump said he might leave that stage up, and with all of the alien business, I'm half expecting like that thing to project a hologram that makes it look like Independence Day is happening.
Oh, love that movie. The second one's not as good, but
I think Burning Bright and I are going to do Independence Day for 4th of July week this year.
Oh, that's a great movie. You totally should. That's the week after Garth Deadwood, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great choice. But anyway, damn it, I don't remember what I was going to say on this. Something about the UFC fight.
Oh yeah, you're Burning Bright's watch party.
Yeah, but there's something else, and I don't remember what it is now.
Well, it's not really a watch party. We decided it's not a watch party because he's not going to be broadcasting the fight, just to be very clear.
Yeah. Well, see, somebody needs to make an AI thing where it can like watch the video for you and then recreate it. Like kind of like they do with the NFL. You know, they have the animated games you can watch for the kids. You do the same thing for this fight.
Wait,
maybe we can.
That's a real thing.
You didn't know that?
They have it turn into a cartoon like in real time so kids can watch cartoon players play football?
But it's like the real game. Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah, here, let me show you.
That's crazy. I mean, I got to see it first, I guess, but wow.
Hold on.
Conceptually, that's crazy.
And I think it's just like this.
Difficulties. And let's go. 3rd and 5. Trevor Lawrence to throw. Fires right sideline, incomplete. Just out of the hands of Evan Ingram, his tight end. Jeff Okudah in coverage.
What in the world?
Jeff Okudah playing man-to-man coverage. That's when you cover the man and not the zone. They call that man-to-man tight coverage, making that ball tough to fit in there. Good defense there by the Falcons.
Okudah's got good size at corner, 6'2", 205 defending the 6'3", 240-pound tight end, Evan Ingram. Jaguars to punt on 4th down and 5. Logan Cook kicks it away.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Ball land.
Yeah, they do this like for just every now and then, random games.
That's wild.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. But they need to do that for the UFC fight.
If that was a video game and they could do like NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time style, yeah,
love that game.
He's on fire.
Was that game on N64? It was, right?
Yeah, it started out as an arcade game, I think, and then when
That's
N64 got released, it was like one of the release day. It was
very
early on in the process. I think it was like when it was released.
I'm bringing my N64 to Deadwood.
No kidding, man.
Yes.
That's so fun. That was my freshman year of college, and so like everybody who had N64 immediately was like the coolest person.
That's so funny because we played just like Xbox One or whatever, like the first one when I was in college.
Yeah, I'm way older, John.
Yeah, I know. Not way old. You're moderately older. moderately older.
There you go.
Anyway, anything else you want to say on the Iran war? Like, I don't really know. It's hard to know where it's at, if it's actually going to happen tomorrow, and if anything's changed in the last 3 months at all. So I don't know what to say on it. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah, I feel like it's easy to just say, if we're going to have peace, what's going to happen is no peace, and there will be more war. And then as soon as we're about to have more war, there will be no war, and we're going to have peace. And it'll just keep going back and forth like that for as long as it takes. But eventually that turns into like a game of musical chairs. And at some point you're going to say it and be wrong. But every time before that, you've got like, if you're going for a really high batting average, just go for the opposite each time. Ultimately, you will end up wrong at some point. Although maybe not. Maybe it'll just disappear over time, like the Ukraine war.
Yeah, that's a good point. And speaking of batting average, so my son plays baseball. I coach him, and he gets like super excited and nervous for the games, but he's also very hard on himself. And so I was trying to explain to him about like what a batting average is. It's like, hey, do you want to be in the Hall of Fame someday? He's like, yeah, of course. I like it. Want to. Okay, so you're allowed to get out 7 times in a row. As long as you get 3 hits and 10 at bats, you could be a Hall of Famer. And he like couldn't conceptualize it. It's like, who's the best baseball player that you can think of? And I think he said like Bryce Harper or something, which is, I gotta talk to him about that. But I was like, his batting average is probably like 250 or something. And he's like, so he gets out like 8 times out of every 10 at bats. Like he was finally putting it together and understood that you can like, anyway, you said batting average, and that's what it made me think of. So we could be a Hall of Fame political commentators just by guessing the opposite every time on the Iran situation. That's what you're saying.
There's also another good way, and it's just by matching anything you see online to coupons.
Oh, that's true. You're never wrong. Never get called out.
Yeah. 100% batting average, 100% forever. Batting 1,000.
Oh, so stupid, man. I want to talk about the D class that we got yesterday from Tulsi Gabbard. We should almost just watch her video. Kill some time. Since I'm like buzzing through everything. What is her account? There we go. DNI Tulsi Gabbard. Okay, let's watch this, everybody. It's breaking news. You never heard this before. And we're getting it from the one who's leaving office as promised.
After months of searching through intelligence community holdings and files, today I'm releasing new evidence of longstanding U.S. government funding of more than 120 biolabs in over 30 countries. Now, these biolabs include labs in places like Ukraine, which could be at risk of compromise due to the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, the intelligence community had previously warned that a U.S.-funded biolab in Ukraine likely housed dangerous pathogens and remained vulnerable to longstanding threats of Russian attack, seizure, or damage. Now, until now, evidence regarding the full existence and funding of these laboratories had been knowingly withheld from you, the American people. Many of these U.S. government-funded biolabs are currently or have previously engaged in research using hazardous and highly contagious pathogens, and in some cases included dangerous gain-of-function research.
Everybody in the chat's saying they've already seen this video. So, I mean, have you seen it, Chris?
I think I have seen the whole thing, although I might have just seen a clip. I don't know. It was one of those things that I put on just to see if there was anything that caught my ear, and there wasn't.
There wasn't, yeah. So maybe we don't need to kill time, and maybe we can just.
They're all just complaining because they're bored of it.
Yeah. Kind of.
This is supposed to capture everybody's attention with the drama that has been kept from us for so many years. The truth about Ukraine biolabs, as though none of us saw the videos and pictures of Barack Obama over there with, what was it, Dick Lugar in 2005?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing over there, giving AIDS to monkeys or something. But they even used like multiple camera angles. Like this is a better setup than I got.
Strange. It really is so strange. And the lighting.
Yep. Studio. She's got a pen on her desk, which I know we're supposed to like follow the pen or whatever. See.
Oh.
Pen.
Oh.
A volcano cup, Hawaii Volcano National Park.
It's so great that she lets us know every time she does anything that it's all about Hawaii and aloha.
Yeah. But anyway, so this, like I said, breaking news. You never heard this before, especially not from Russia when they told us back in 2022 about this. We probably even knew about it before that, but I figured this would be a great opportunity for you to say the thing you say about the truth and saying things a long time ago, and then being allowed to say it again now. And what happens if you would have just been like saying the whole thing the whole time in between?
Yeah. Well, I mean, this isn't, I think most people on our side of the fence understood that there was something going on with this. The Russians, I was actually looking at some of the backstory for this to see how long people actually had known about this morning. And Russia had been talking about it. It was published in Newsweek in April of 2021. So this is not new. Russia's been talking about it for many years. And as I said, Obama was over there in 2005 in Ukraine at these biolabs. And so even Victoria Nuland, she went up, I think it was March 9th of 2022. She appeared. Marco Rubio was actually doing the questioning, and she admitted that we had biomedical research labs in Ukraine. They're not bioweapons labs, you see. They're just bio-research labs. And the gain of function thing, these are dual use technologies. So they claim that this is defensive. They want to defend against these deadly pathogens. So they have to produce these deadly pathogens to figure out how to stop them. So what they're doing is producing deadly pathogens. And the idea is, that's somehow defensive, but it's not. So it's dual use. The other use is bioweapon. So that part goes right out the door. As far as knowing this stuff a few years ago, I mean, this is one of those things that we should have just kept. We should have understood then. Of course, they have these labs. The thing about it was, though, that people were trying to link this to COVID and the rest of it. That part is still, I think, all very sketchy. To just accept that the COVID pandemic happened as we were told, and that it either came from nature or a lab. I don't accept either of those things. I don't accept the underlying claim. So I certainly don't accept either of those claims as conclusive and stuff we should build on. This is the same thing. But yeah, if you know something's true a few years ago, and then you're going to jump on and pretend that everybody's just finding it out now so that maybe it like baits the normies harder and they'll finally believe it. I don't know what the purpose of that is. I don't think it's amazing. If more people believe this claim now because Tulsi Gabbard says it, well, those people are retarded, because all that's happening is this claim is getting officialized in the mainstream media. And every time that happens 5 years too late, it seems like a limited hangout.
Yeah, I mean, you said a lot there. That's a really good point. I think you're right about, when I was doing this on my show yesterday, talking about it and kind of giving it shit, like, okay, we were promised some sort of COVID declass, right? Like that's the 3 reports we were going to get from Tulsi Gabbard before she left office was something to do with COVID, something to do with the elections, and something to do, I think, with weaponization of government. And we get this.
And the Havana syndrome too, right?
Oh, that's right. Yep. Havana syndrome. Maybe that was the 3. I don't think she had anything to do with aliens.
The alien person?
She might be an alien with that gray streak in her hair. But like those are the things, right? And she even says like we spent months digging, and they give us 4 fucking pages. Like you're gonna give us 4 pages of a slideshow of this, and this is like the COVID like this is not going to move the needle on anything. And so I don't understand. Is there going to be more to this declass than what we're getting, or is this it? Like, if this is the COVID declass, I don't know how anybody can call this anything but a letdown. Because again, it's nothing we didn't already know. Limited hangout would be a great way to describe it. The only thing that I found interesting about the whole thing was the multiple mentions of Black & Veatch, which is a company, and how they connect to Hunter Biden and Metabiota. But that's not really new information either. That's something we've known for a while. The only thing interesting about it is Hunter Biden's like inserted himself into the social media ecosystem lately. But yeah, it's I don't know, pretty lame, I would say.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. And if this is going to be the extent of the disclosure that we get from Tulsi Gabbard's time as DNI, and again, she has a week left. She has a bunch of things that she says she's going to release, although she was intending to stay to the end of the month initially. So who knows how Trump pushing that date up has affected the scripted and timed release of these different disclosures. If this is it, if like this is the end of each line of questioning, and I'm saying parallel in these other issues, if we only get some half measure story that doesn't even advance what we already know, if that's all that Tulsi as DNI brings, then we should understand her only as a TV character, because I don't know what else you could reliably point to and say, yes, that was important.
Yeah. So speaking of like the other declassifications and whether or not Tulsi's even the one doing this all, I have questions, because I've told people on my daily show, I'm waiting on this interview that I've been talking to this guy. He's a former national intelligence officer, fairly well connected. I don't want to call him like an inside source, because I don't necessarily see him as that, but he's more connected than I am. I'm not ready to say his name yet either until he agrees to come on the interview, because I don't want to scare him off. But he's been kind of like talking to me behind the scenes a little bit. He's like, next week's the week. And he's speaking of like the election declassification stuff. And he said something interesting. He's like, I'm going to like learn more about it tomorrow. And this was the other day. So, and after he went, I asked him, I was like, hey, so did you learn anything new? And he essentially said that, and I don't know how to phrase it. He essentially said that the PIAB is like starting over from scratch. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what is the PIAB doing the declass? And he said, I guess so. And so again, I don't know. I'm not going to put like any weight on this. I don't think you guys should either, but I think it's worth discussing, because if it's true, then like there's a whole other angle to this entire thing that I don't think anybody's been considering. We've all been looking at Tulsi Gabbard, DNI, like she's this fire and brimstone, strong, independent woman who's going to take down the deep state with her declass on her own. All the while Trump is like appointing Pulte and kind of like backtracking that. But while he's saying that, he's like, I'm going to fire all these intelligence officials now, could maybe even go and dismantle the DNI, kind of undercutting the importance of the DNI's office altogether. But then on the flip side of that, we have this Presidential Intelligence Advisory Board, and you have people on that board like Devin Nunez, who chairs it. And he just stepped down from his role at TMTG. Weird timing, like a couple weeks before all this. Robert O'Brien's on there. RFK Jr.'s, is it his daughter-in-law, like Amaryllis Fox Kennedy, a former CIA agent? Katie Miller's on there. Just a couple interesting names, mainly Nunez and Robert O'Brien are the ones I look at. And if they're the ones that are actually handling like some of this D-class stuff, I honestly think I'm a lot more interested and a lot more. I don't know. I think it's going to end up being a lot more compelling if that's true. Again, I don't think we should put any weight into that, but I hadn't even considered that possibility that it's going to be somebody outside of the DNI's office altogether. And so I think it's interesting if that's true.
Yeah, I think that's definitely interesting, and it's also much more hopeful than the runaround we've been getting on television. And for all the chatter in the chat about how this is somehow dooming or blackpilling, no, it's not. You're just hearing that one of your TV heroes may not have been who you thought she was. And we've played this game 100 times now over the last 5 years. I cannot believe people are still attached to these characters in these ways.
Who's saying we're blackpilling?
Oh,
how is this blackpilling? Like, Are you trying to deny that what Tulsi Gabbard brought out is anything other than something we've known forever?
Yes, because it's going to help wake up the normies, of course, John.
Okay, but why is Tulsi Gabbard saying it any different than the rest of us saying it? It's the same information. And if anything, because she's in Trump's cabinet, it's going to be like harder for them to like accept it. And the mainstream media is not going to cover it. The mainstream media, who the normies watch,
covers it and denies it.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But the normies will finally realize that they're lying.
The people who don't understand the stuff that's being released in these releases, maybe there are people who are coming to it for the first time. They read these headlines and they're like, oh, wow. Okay. If they're already like on the team, but have just not been paying enough attention or weren't paying attention at that time, and fine. Okay. But the people on the other side, and even those same people, are going to hear the other side's media operation say none of this is even true. And the truth is, if we're getting a limited hangout on it, they actually want this stuff out there to their people too, so that they can deny it. And then we can all move on from the whole thing. That's what limited hangouts are for. Okay. Like, they're not to wake up the normies. They're to make sure that everybody stops short of the revelations that actually matter.
Yeah. Some people are saying that, the mainstream media is covering. I'm on CNN's website right now. I searched Biolab, sorted by newest, and they don't have anything in here about what Tulsi Gabbard released. CNN. So they're clearly not covering it. And I'm sure I could look at other websites, but I'd be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, I heard, oh no, actually, you know what? The clip that I saw today, I think was from back in 2022. I was just going to say, I saw something with Jen Psaki, but nope, 2022.
Go figure. But anyway, I am excited about the election stuff just because that's a topic I've researched much, much more. And I think there's potential for much more information to come out of that, so that we can maybe actually learn something new. But I don't know. I think you're right. If we don't learn anything new, what is the goal of it? It probably is some sort of limited hangout. I think you're right.
Well, if you want to portray all of these people in government as doing something really important, this is how you do it. You tell them all these mysteries that we set up over many years, sometimes many decades. Well, we're going to solve them all for you. We're going to release all this official information. And at that point, you'll have the truth. And we've talked about this a number of times. It's not how you get the truth. And it's not certainly how you make people accept it. The idea that the government just stores perfect records of all its criminality, and they are just held there under lock and key. All its protectors are just like, oh man, I hope those guys don't ever win an election so we can keep this information safe. I just don't. I don't know how people believe that's how this is, how this works.
Yeah, I'm reading somebody in the chat saying like how Pulte has a very important role to play because of other shows she watches, talking about the decoders, I'm assuming. All those decodes they've been wrong about. I've got sent like 13 different clips of them decoding the Pulte thing. Most of them having to do with June 30th as the date. And those have all fallen through now. And now he's not even acting for long. And I was also told General Flynn was going to be named after Pulte. That didn't happen. It was Jay Clayton. So like those are examples of them being wrong. Like why are we looking at that as an authoritative source of why Pulte has an important role to play? You know what I mean?
Because those people, they just rah-rah all this stuff. They always say that something great is about to happen. And because you do that 10 times before the great thing is meant to happen, everybody forgets and moves on to the next great thing you say is happening.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I don't know. Whatever.
We should take a quick little commercial break. And by the way, Keith O'Higgins is back. I haven't seen him in the chat in a while. Is it true there are some health issues going on, Keith? He says those Tren de Aragua guys should have built a ballroom to protect themselves. That is true.
Well done.
That is very well done. Quick commercial break, guys. Going to get a quick word from Chef IQ and then our new Juneteenth soft disclosure ad. Then we'll get on to the next subject. And so Chef IQ, Father's Day is coming up, and if you don't know what to get Dad, this is it. Skip the random last minute and get him something he'll actually use every single week. Chef IQ Sense is a smart wireless thermometer that connects to your phone and tells you exactly when your food is done with no guesswork. tracks your cook in real time, walks you through every step, and tells you exactly when to flip, pull, rest, and serve. So instead of I think it's done, you get I know it's perfect. No more overcooked steaks or dried chicken. We're talking restaurant level results at home. Steak, burgers, chicken, fish, on the grill, in the oven, even the smoker. Doesn't matter what it is. It's all amazing. And the best part is you don't have to babysit anything. You can play the game, hang out with your family. Your phone handles it all. It's basically like having a cooking coach in your pocket. And right now for Father's Day, you can get 40% off site-wide at chefiq.com with promo code DPH. That's chefiq.com, promo code DPH. Cook smarter with Chef IQ Sense. And I can totally vouch for this. As I say every time I read this ad, my girlfriend, she came here. She was a terrible cook. Once she started using the Chef IQ, she became a great cook. And I fully credit the Chef IQ. So get yourself some Chef IQ and also get yourself some soft disclosure.
Everybody saves.
Everybody.
Even me.
Especially you.
You mean I just have to use a promo code to get the discount?
BB truly is an idiot.
Hi, fellas. What year is it?
Soft disclosures for everybody.
By the way, I'm probably in the doghouse for saying what I said. My girlfriend, Cece, was a great cook. She's just even more excellent now because of the Chef IQ. But yeah, guys, soft disclosure, doesn't matter what race you are, whether you're black, whether you're white, whether you're Christian, whether you're Jewish. It's for everybody. So softdisclosure.com, promo code Juneteenth for 15% off. Yeah, Badlands Media fan. This audience knows it's just shit John says for the advertisement. You have always cooked well. And she's not actually mad either. She's being silly. All right. What should we do next? Let's maybe watch the Spencer Pratt video. Because I haven't actually watched this full thing, but I've seen it all over social media. Have you seen this yet?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Now that the campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase, listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall. It's just not fair. Hey, morons, I didn't get in this for political power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nicky, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
I'm going to be lighting you up every single day, and now I don't have to worry about offending CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles. Angelinos are now stuck with two morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between dumb and dumber. That's not a choice. That's the machine protecting the machine. And now every problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these two corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it. You have no idea how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice, graffiti over every square inch of public space, garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns, abandoned storefronts. This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonist who torched the place with 4 more years of destruction?
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades, all the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools, all the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was going to stop me? If you want to stop me,
You're gonna have to fucking kill
I mean, it's a great video. My question is, though, like, honestly, like, if you have something you're claiming would get one of them to resign in disgrace, I'm skeptical. But even going to the point of saying the FBI will be knocking on your door, why would you not, wouldn't it be your duty to release that as soon as you have it? But then you say it's like because of campaign laws that you couldn't? Like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know, man.
I think he's saying it's going to be more powerful after they certify a winner.
Okay,
maybe that's what he's waiting for. So we'll see. There was a video, a friend sent it to me today. I didn't have time to go back and look too deeply into it, but it was, I think, from O'Keefe Media Group, and it was an audio recording of Karen Bass talking to some unknown figure, the person who handed it over to James O'Keefe, and saying that essentially Biden was responsible for her leaving town for a few days when the LA fires happened, and he set that up in advance. I guess being the implication that there was some involvement with the Biden administration in the LA fires. And so maybe that's what he's referring to. I don't know.
Interesting.
That would coordinate time-wise if there was a James O'Keefe thing. And then we kind of have this quasi-establishment seeming campaign happening in Los Angeles. You know, Spencer Pratt might be totally independent, although I imagine there are a number of influences from the Republican establishment kind of pressing in on him if he started independent, or it might just be that thing. I don't know. But Steve Hilton is certainly on that side of things. I can't believe that anybody is like, oh yeah, this guy's going to make California great again. Was the director of strategy for UK Prime Minister David Cameron. His wife was also in the UK government, and his wife has done corporate public communications for Google, Uber, and I think now Netflix. I'm not sure if I have the order correct on those. I think I do, but it's the three of those. She did corporate PR for these major tech companies. And did you see his commercial this week?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, he's got a real weird one. And yeah, in the same minute, he says he's not a politician, and then also talks about how he worked in 10 Downing, which is the prime minister's residence.
Is that this one?
Yeah, it looks like that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny. There's a moment where he's at a podium and one of the microphones just falls off the front of the podium. It's, I don't know. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I did see that clip earlier, because he was like, in that clip, he was asking his opponent to also, what was it, demand like voter ID or something for elections.
Yes. Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And the voter ID measure in California is being sponsored and promoted by Palmer Luckey's mother. Palmer Luckey is the Andoril guy, and that's kind of in the teal Lord of the Rings group of companies. And then the Winklevoss of Facebook fame, the Winklevoss twins, and Nicole Shanahan, who was the VP candidate under Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in that whole Maha campaign. She seems like she's just a handler of tech billionaires. Those are the people supporting the voter ID measure in California. Does that make anyone feel confident, knowing already that voter ID, as a ballot measure, by the way, you have to win a fake election to get this policy implemented by those tech people and weirdos. And when that policy is implemented, it won't fix the rigged elections. So what are these people there to do?
So it's a ballot measure? Like the people have to vote to pass the thing?
That's right. Yeah. And I think that they're doing it in Arizona too. I saw a post earlier about how they're going to do that in Arizona.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about, because we'll get there. So let me write that down, because there's a couple things I want to get to first. First of all, before we even watch the Steve Hilton thing, goddamn, I'm all over the place. AZ thing. I'm just gonna write ballot measure. Then Hilton. Okay, so with Spencer Pratt, what I'm also like concerned about, or maybe not concerned, but everybody's looking at his race as like this. There's fraud here. There's obvious fraud. I've seen characters talking about election fraud that hadn't mentioned election fraud ever, even during the 2020 race. Yep. And then some of the super mega people who did kind of talk about it until it was like, okay, now we better stop. We don't want to lose YouTube. We don't want to lose our social media platforms. What's his name? Tim Pool, Beanie Bitch. He was out there talking election fraud. They dedicated a whole show to it. And he's the guy, I love that clip of him when Bannon's on. It's like, well, Biden's illegitimate. He's like, well, I have to stop you there. I have to stop you right there. If you bring up election fraud, I have to stop you because there's no proof. And even talking about election fraud that's voter suppression. Just I hate that guy so much. But all these people are talking about it. But Spencer Pratt, if he really thought that it was stolen from him and everybody else did, why is he not fighting it? Why is he not challenging it? Why? Like it seems like he's just kind of walking away.
Listen, maybe there's a strategy that has something to do with letting it be certified. I'm not trying to like think badly of this guy, but yeah, you got to do more than put out very clever public communications. And his public communications are great. It's like the next level. Maybe it's not the next level. Maybe it's just a kind of cleaner, catchier, more clever version of what Trump was doing. I don't know that it's better though. I think it's more geared for a certain kind of attention on social media that appeals to people who are very heavily online and of a certain age group. I'm not sure it's better. I don't know. I'll think.
I think you're right. It's geared towards a different audience. It's like it's more edgy, where Trump's are more like, I don't know, more boomer friendly maybe. Where his are more like, maybe it's a generational thing. I don't know. It's also heavily leaning into the AI stuff. But yeah, edgy is the way I'd put it. But I don't love how everybody's looking at this like there's fraud. And Spencer Pratt is the face of that. Mm-hmm. And he's just kind of walking away. And I talked about this leading up to it. He was running a great race. I think if there was, legitimate elections there, he'd have a chance. And it was concerning to me that he never once talked about election fraud until now it's over. But he's not actually trying to fight the election fraud. He's just walking away. But let's look at this Hilton video.
You got to wonder what the pressures are, not only from the Democrat Party in California, but also from the Republicans, because they've got this guy, So what's he going to do? Make everybody believe that the election is not a legitimate one, and then maybe Steve Hilton didn't actually make it through?
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. And Trump had that interesting video where he said something about Steve Hilton. I could play that too. Actually, I have that saved somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen that.
I think I shared it in our group chat. And here, I'll play this first before we even play this video.
And look at the election in California as an example. After a week, they determined that the kid who's leading and had all the mojo, all of a sudden he doesn't make the runoff. And then I hit them hard.
Oh, yeah.
But I started talking about Steve Hilton, who's a fantastic guy. And I saw them say it was going to be 2 weeks before they knew. And I started hitting them. It's going to happen to Steve Hilton, too. It's watch. You got to watch. And they approved Steve Hilton very quickly. They didn't want him. There was too much heat on him. The only reason he got approved, he had all the votes he needed, probably to be first place. But the only reason they approved Steve Hilton, it was going to be 2 weeks. They said it. And then they approved them that night because the heat was on them, because they're cheating dogs. And you can't have a great country when that happens. That's why Los Angeles, that's why that state is in such trouble.
2 weeks to slow the fraud. And Steve Hilton's in there. Okay, now let's watch this ad.
You gotta speed it up.
I will happily do that.
Yeah.
It all started with freedom.
Is this LA?
I think he just immediately goes to World War II. Hey guys, it all started with World War II.
Interesting.
Fled communism in Hungary.
Ah.
So I was born in England, raised in a working class home. My mom worked in a shoe store, my dad in construction. Like so many immigrant families, they just wanted a better life. My parents were so proud when I made it to Oxford University, started a career in business, then started a business of my own, even a couple of restaurants. That is a tough business. I helped elect Prime Minister, worked in 10 Downing Street. I saw how government bureaucracy can grow and what it takes to fight back. In 2012 with my...
Okay, so far, he's talked all about his life as not a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, yeah. And he went to Oxford, so he's not involved in the intelligence community at all.
Yeah, of course not. And just like the tone, like between Spencer Pratt's ads and this, like Spencer Pratt's ads, like you could play that at a frat party. I don't even know if I'd play this at a freaking nursing home. This is boring as hell.
Yeah.
My wife and 2 sons, I moved to America, to California, the ultimate expression of America, the home of freedom. Or it should be. I taught at Stanford University, started a business, wrote books, hosted a TV show. I lived the California dream. I raised my family here, made my life here, became an American. It was one of the proudest days of my life.
Could you imagine being a real Republican candidate and having that picture in one of your campaign videos and like expecting that to be taken seriously?
It's also like, okay, this is the day I became an American, which is supposed to be like the day you accepted your freedom. You're finally the most free person in the world. And you're wearing a fucking face mask.
It's amazing.
It's embarrassing.
Reminder of the madness, the masks, the lockdowns, the school closures. What happened here? The chaos, the crime, the costs, the collapse of the California dream. This is not just any other state. California means to America what America means to the world. It is not too late to save California, to make it a place where young people can own a home, where workers can keep their...
I keep thinking about what he just said there. California means to America what America means to the world.
Yeah.
Does everybody look at America as like communist shithole?
You know, the funny thing is that concept that he's repeating and that you're highlighting is primarily an argument that liberals and progressives make about California. Bill Maher makes it on his show all the time. California is the cutting edge for American progressive policy. California puts these policies in place. They have fake elections, and then they have fake ballot measures so that via fake elections, they can bypass the state constitution and the state legislature and the rest of it. There's no accountability whatsoever to the people because the whole idea is that the people are directly responsible for passing the ballot measure. And so you do that, then you, of course, because everything is political there and the politics are totally captured, you can put the courts in place. So you just put all the most progressive policies in place, defend them, use ballot measures, whatever it takes. Then you begin exporting those to other states. And, you know, when these things are challenged in the courts essentially, like Elena Kagan said last year in Supreme Court arguments, then the courts begin making law for all of the rest of the states because they all have to be the certain way. This is a system. And so what he's saying, California is the shining light of America, like America is the shining light of the world. And what are you talking about there? Innovation, freedom, the rest of it. California is not that, unless you're a liberal or a progressive that wants to be on the cutting edge of where globalism is going.
people keep pointing to California being the 6th largest economy in the world. Could you imagine the size of that economy if it had like free and fair elections and legitimate leadership there, and it wasn't completely captured? And Ash in the chat, good to see Ash, says we need to stop letting the crown define our liberty, ban Brits and Canadians. It is weird to me that we would allow somebody who, I mean, I understand like people want to come here and become a citizen. I would be totally on board with some sort of rule not allowing those people into office, because why should we?
The other thing about it, this is interesting in particular because of the original 13th Amendment, and I know that some people in the chat will certainly have looked into this, and you'll be told that this is a conspiracy or whatever. It's clear that in many books around the country from that era, there are copies of the Constitution and the amendments printed in those books, and the amendment describes how foreign nobility cannot serve in positions of power in the United States, the United States government. And I think it's titles and nobility. And so titles, I think, with the context, would describe people like lawyers and doctors, people who have passed through these kind of regime-oriented licensing boards that essentially makes them tools of that system, and then that's their highest commitment, including when they get in office. And I would be just fine if we had none of those people in office either. Imagine a Congress without any lawyers in it. Why are we represented almost completely by people who have been taught to view American statutory and constitutional and civil law through the lens of the bar? It's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. I was trying to find, I was looking for what you were saying there. No titles of nobility shall be granted by the United States. A little different. And no person holding any office or of profit or trust under them shall without consent. I wonder if there's founding era like comments or quotes like in the Federalist or something, anti-Federalist papers that talk about that too.
I went into this a number of years ago. It must have been, I don't know, 2022 or 2023 or something. So it's not all like at total recall memory right now. But yeah, I can look back into this. I'd encourage everybody to look into this, the original 13th Amendment.
Yeah, we can check that out later. Let's finish this super interesting campaign ad video.
Paycheck, where families and businesses grow instead of flee. There's only one way to do that. We've got to stop voting the same way and expecting different results. This campaign is not about Democrat or Republican. It's about common sense, change, practical solutions. I'm not a politician. I'm an outsider running for governor to shake up a broken system, to cut your costs, help your business, fix our schools. It doesn't have to be like this. Change is possible. We just have to vote different.
Vote different. Vote for voter ID. And I missed it. I wasn't, I think, watching it the second where the microphone fell off the...
I don't think it was in this clip.
It wasn't?
It was in his other clip. It was in, I'd have to scroll back to find it, but it was in the clip where he called his opponent to like do the voter ID thing with him.
Oh yeah. Okay, so that's what's going to happen.
This one right here.
Javier Becerra is going to, yeah, there you go. It's not, John, you didn't share it. Hey, John.
What?
You didn't share it on the screen.
Oh, damn it. I hate when I do that. I do that on my show all the time. I'll watch like the other day I watched a video of Bigfoot, and I was sitting there watching this like 15-second clip on loop for like a minute before I realized I didn't have it on the screen. It's like talking about nobody could see what I was talking about.
So here's my offer to Javier Becerra. Javier, join me. Go on the campaign trail with me for voter ID. Join me in supporting voter ID. Join all of us in supporting voter ID. This November, it's on the ballot. Let's unite as Californians. Republicans, Democrats, Independents, me and Javier Becerra campaigning together for voter ID. That's the best way of showing Californians that we really are serious about giving this state the modern, efficient, secure election system that we deserve. Thank you very much, everyone.
It's so funny, that concept. And we should talk about this and the Arizona one, because putting ballot measures on there to like fix the election system, I think it's so funny, because the state legislature in Arizona, they're like celebrating this as like a big win. Like, we finally got the thing that's going to secure our elections. We just need to get it accomplished through the unsecure election system. It's like, well, how do you expect that to work? And then the voters are going to come out and they're going to end up blaming the voters. And, well, the voters didn't pass it, so looks like we're stuck with this now. It's just so silly. Like, there's a measure in that was on the primary ballot in LA, I think it was California, the full state, where they voted themselves a tax increase, which I think is retarded. Like, who would actually knowingly and willingly go to the polls and vote away more money from themselves? It makes no sense.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know more than enough people who would do that in California, because they are told that that money is going to go to something that's really important, like giving the homeless houses. And they are very sensitive toward the homeless. They want them to have better lives, and they also want them off the streets. So if you tell people you're going to solve this problem, if you give them an extra quarter on a pack of cigarettes, they're going to go and vote for that every time. And that is really how that shit works.
I get that. I understand that, but like, maybe the first time, like, they come to you the first time, like, hey guys, we're going to put this ballot measure on there. We're going to raise taxes just a little bit, 0.5%, and it's only for 5 years, but we're going to fix a lot of these problems. Like, look at all these problems. We're going to fight Donald Trump. Donald Trump's trying to take away your hospitals. We're going to make sure we can't do that with this 0.5% raise. But then, like, once none of that happens and you get all these stories of corruption and taxes and price, everything keeps going up, and they come back again the second time, even then I can maybe be like, okay, I get it. You'll want to do it one more time. But then the third time, like, this is probably like the 4th, 5th time it's happened in California, if not more. By now, you got to understand that you're retarded and these are fake elections and they're just taking more of your money away. Like, at what point did these people learn anything?
They think that taxes are the price you pay for a better society. And
I hate it.
Man, yeah, but they'll just keep doing it because there's so much social pressure surrounding these things. And there's so much signaling. People want to say, yeah, I can afford the extra quarter, but what we can't afford is allowing these people to suffer this way, stuff like that. Also worth mentioning, Steve Hilton is asking for Javier Becerra to unify with him around the cause of voter ID. Well, the measure he's trying to pass is on behalf of Teal's guy, Palmer Luckey, the Winklevoss twins, and Nicole Shanahan. So that's the big tech conglomerate, the big tech oligarch conglomerate, all those people who supported or said they supported Donald Trump in 2024. The Uniparty is forming on behalf of that thing. And you can see their control in the comms ops on both sides, as we have witnessed for many years now. And this is the point. I mean, I've been talking about this shit for 5 years. This exact dynamic. Now they're like saying it in their commercials, and people are like, that's blackpilling. No, it's not. These people are actively trying to hoodwink you. And Hunter Biden combining with Gavin Newsom, they're going to join the same thing. I mean, what is it? MTG was coming out yesterday. MTG's doing the Ro Khanna thing. Matt Gaetz has the Ro Khanna thing. What do you got? Lauren Boebert, Nancy Mace, Thomas Massey. Then on the other side, you got Gavin Newsom. You got Hunter Biden. You're going to get Steve Hilton in that same thing. Just watch all this come together. Same people pushing for power as before. They want everybody to understand, hey, we fixed your elections. You don't have to worry about this thing anymore. All this is good for generations to come. We got this.
So we're talking Ro Khanna. I saw something today. I was scrolling through Twitter or whatever and came across him, and he was retweeting or something about Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is like he's a trillionaire now. He beat me to it. I was very close. Just a couple more months, I probably would have had it, but he did that IPO, and I just had no chance. So he's the world's first trillionaire, and everybody's like, we need to tax the trillionaire now. We need a 5% tax on him. Imagine all the things we could fund. I'm sitting here thinking, like, if our deficit right now, like the last 12 months, our deficit was 1.31 trillion. You could have all of that money back if you fixed our debt and deficit problem, Ro Khanna, but why don't they ever talk about that? Instead, they just want to tax more billionaires and trillionaires instead of trying to figure out, hey, how do we wrestle this deficit? It's so stupid. But anyway, you mentioned that. I found this as I was scrolling through the ballot measures. Every single ballot measure in Los Angeles County that increased tax sales or taxes generally passed. They didn't pass the one to permit the sale of fireworks, but they passed everything else. So this proves capture rate here. There's no sane person that would not vote to sell fireworks because fireworks are fucking awesome. But they would vote to increase their own taxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different measures in 10 different places. No way. No way, man.
Yeah. So, yeah, vote your way out of it.
Blame the voters.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking today, I don't know how this is even possible, but they're still doing the Erica Kirk versus Candace Owens and the based and red-pilled influencers, and back and forth on this thing. Oh, they're at war. They're going to be at war until September. When we get around the year anniversary of the Charlie Kirk trauma event, then they will come back together and let everybody know that it's important to mend fences so that we can defeat the Democrats in the fake midterms. And people will still not understand that they got hoodwinked for a year, and instead they will just reunify because they want to win a fake election.
Will they unify for the midterms, or will they be okay? Will they be okay with us losing the midterms, and then they unify around JD Vance?
Well, that's interesting because the second half was, I think, that they would unify around the impeachment of Donald Trump, but that would lead immediately to JD Vance. So yes, I can see that happening as well.
In order to get to the unification of the impeachment of Donald Trump, they would need to lose the midterms first.
Yes, or have Donald Trump have abandoned the Republican Party to such a degree that they would have like air cover to say, there are 15 Republicans or 50 or whatever it is that are going to flip.
Yeah, I've ignored the Erica Kirk drama. I don't even know who's involved. There was some apparently AI video that they put out of Charlie Kirk saying he like named Erica as like his successor. Why would you do that? I don't know, but I really don't care. I really do not care, and I haven't cared the entire time. So
that is the right stance.
We did just talk about the Arizona thing, right? Did you read into any of that at all? Like, it's just a ballot measure. Any other details?
No, I didn't get any deeper into it. But yeah, I mean, if it's a ballot measure and your elections aren't fixed, and the ballot measure is to fix elections, well, you are. I can't believe anybody goes for that.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I guess I can. I don't know.
Maybe there's some master strategy here that I just am too dumb to understand, but that seems on its face ridiculous.
Yeah. Okay, a couple things. I want to do this NSPM. We have Ezra Cohen Watnick, I believe it was, said that it was a great thing. I just want to get to his post here about it. And I read through it. I mean, it's interesting, this new NSPM 12. Last week we had NSPM 11, which revealed the two classified NSPM 9 and 10. And then now we're already at NSPM 12. Where the hell's the damn post? Here we go. Ezra Cohen Watnick said, big deal, great work. Man of many words. And this is it. Again, I don't really want to go into much detail. I read through it once and I started reading through it again, and very technical. National Policy for Cybersecurity of National Security Systems. It does create a new committee. It creates a new person in charge of overseeing the security of our cybersecurity stuff. And that person is the director of the NSA. Other than that, I guess I did ask Ezra Cohen Watnick to hey man, can you explain why this is so interesting to you? But he didn't respond. But what I find interesting in conjunction with this and the last NSPM, which was about AI stuff, let me pull that one up quick, is the Anthropic thing. So here's NSPM 11, Artificial Intelligence in the National Security Enterprise. And then the big story this week having to do with AI was Anthropic put out their new cloud Fable or whatever. And yesterday, I believe it came out that they were banning like the export of it. The United States government was banning the export of this AI to other countries. And so they pulled it. They like shut it down within Claude. And so I think we should read through a little bit of this because it's fairly interesting.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question, but maybe the article answers it.
Yeah, and before we even do that, there's one interesting comment. Here, this guy, Taylor Budowich, and I think it was Ezra Kowanek who shared this as well. He says, Anthropic developed what they defined as a cyber weapon, Mythos. They released Mythos to the world as Fable, the same model, but with guardrails to allow its commercial deployment. When the guardrails failed, they rejected calls to patch the vulnerabilities. Dario is dangerous and reckless. So that maybe gives a little insight. But yeah, let's just read through a little bit of this and stop me as we go through. In a series of tense calls between Anthropic CEO and administration officials on Friday underscore how the White House is wrestling with advanced AI models. The Trump admin's decision to impose sweeping export controls on Anthropic followed a frantic 24-hour of effort by senior officials to convince the company to voluntarily pull a newly released artificial intelligence model that officials believe pose security risks, according to 2 admin officials and a senior White House official who, like others in the story, were granted anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the episode. I love those anonymous sources. Let me skip down to just days after it was released. Anthropic had given assurances that it was safe, but soon after its release, top admin officials developed fresh doubts that its AI guardrails were as secure as the company suggested. 2 days after the release, Amazon CEO Andy Jassy raised concerns to the White House about the ability to bypass the model's guardrails. And that guy they're an investor in Anthropic. So that makes it even more interesting. Like one of Anthropic's investors who would make money off of this thing was like, yo, I think you guys should maybe take a second look at this.
Those are both defense contractors as well.
Yes. Does Amazon have their own AI? No, they don't.
I mean, I guess they have a chat bot on the Amazon website. I don't think that they have like one of these models though. And so they're probably using someone else's, I guess, although I don't know. But a defense contractor is invested in another defense contractor. It just seems strange.
Yeah. They held a meeting. So allegedly Besant, Karen Cross, Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and others met, talked. They tried to get a hold of Amadai, but he was at a wellness retreat.
Of course he was.
Yeah.
He was probably hanging out with Nicole Shanahan talking about voting.
It was probably run by Steve Hilton, too, of all people. Anthropic and Amity was first requested around noon and was on the phone with senior officials within an hour and 15 minutes. When the administration finally reached him, he participated in 3 calls with a combination of roughly half a dozen senior admin officials, including Besant, Howard Lutnick. I don't need to know the names. During the calls, he tried to clear up what he assumed was a misunderstanding. He pushed back on the concerns, defended the guardrails, and argued that the type of bypass that occurred, which he believed to be specific, did not pose the same risk as a broader jailbreak that would allow it to be used without any of the guardrails put in place by Anthropic. They were unmoved by his arguments, and then they urged Anthropic to voluntarily remove the model and coordinate with the government to address the vulnerabilities. He asked for more time and information, made no commitments, and then the White House made the call. They imposed export control on Faber 5 and Mythos 5 models, citing national security authority and banning its use by foreign nationals. And again, it's interesting, like if there's a foreign person working for Anthropic, they would not be allowed to work on the model. I'm pretty sure that's what that means as well, because they're banning foreign nationals from using it. So if they have any employees that are foreign nationals, they would no longer be allowed to work on the model for Anthropic. That's an interesting thing to look at too.
I wonder how they're keeping it impossible to export abroad. Maybe there's just a technical aspect I'm not aware of. So I just finally finished that thing that I've been writing for way too long called The Great Cloud in the Sky, and it's going to be out tomorrow morning on my Substack. But in it, I talk about it's essentially about all the information that we feed into the machine and where that ultimately might go. The fact is, we're all completely exposed to the adversarial use, let's say, of all the information that we've kind of given over and surrendered to the machine over however many years that we've been on the internet. And at one point in there, I talk about the regulation, and I really think at this point that if it was possible to, first of all, I don't think it's possible to regulate the machine if it is what people fear it to be, and the people wouldn't be capable of regulating it. And so if it was capable of being regulated, well, then why would we need to fear it? So I see that this is kind of going nowhere. And the funny thing is, like, I do not support regulating AI. And that usually would align me with a lot of people who are very tech positive. I'm not all that tech positive. In fact, I think that the people running tech are primarily terrible, as I just expressed, but they would be the ones involved in regulating it. So I don't know why we would want to hand that kind of power over to those people. I would rather take my chances with the machine.
Yeah. I don't know. There's an interesting post from David Sachs. I think it's probably worth reading. It adds a little context. I've had a number of conversations with folks inside and outside the government about the current situation with Anthropic, and here is what I believe to be true. Is he still? Yeah. He's the co-chair of the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology. Is he still like the strategic Bitcoin reserve guy?
I thought that he was like leaving his post or something. I don't remember. I have not paid much attention to David Sachs, admittedly, in the last, 6 months.
Okay, I mean, neither really. Anyway, as we know, Anthropic publicly released its Mythos class models earlier this week under the commercial name Fable. Fable is Mythos with guardrails, but if those guardrails fail, then you've exposed Mythos and its advanced cyber capabilities to people who shouldn't have them. Keep in mind that Anthropic itself widely promoted the idea that Mythos was a cyber weapon and needed to be regulated as such. They asked for government regulation of Mythos and championed the guardrails on Fable. If there is a vulnerability, big or small, it is Anthropic's responsibility to patch. A highly credible, trusted partner of both Anthropic and the U.S. government was testing Fable and came forward with a jailbreak of those guardrails. The admin asked Dario to fix the jailbreak or redeploy the model. Dario refused. In their blog post, Anthropic defended its decision by saying the jailbreak isn't serious. That is not what the trusted partner and the U.S. government believe, nor is it that kind of minimizing language consistent with Anthropic's brand as the AI safety company. It's difficult to fathom how they could claim a jailbreak allowing operability of a cyber weapon could be defined as not serious. In the past, Anthropic has always said that safety must be a top priority and taken super seriously. In this case, Anthropic prioritized the continued offering of their consumer model over safety. In reaction, the admin issued the export control. The admin did this reluctantly, and it's very surprised that Anthropic hasn't wanted to cooperate or with a reasonable safety request. For example, fixing the jailbreak issue. Anthropic's reaction is very much at odds with their branding and ethos as a safe AI research community. The admin's hopes now is that Anthropic remediates the safety issue, the export control is lifted, and Fable goes back into general release. The admin wants all of this to happen as soon as possible. It is frankly bewildered that Anthropic hasn't wanted to comply with safety requests that it previously said were its highest priority. Those trying to misdirect and tie this action to prior Department of War Anthropic issues are wrong. The admin values Anthropic's technical capabilities and feels that this issue, while serious, should be easily resolved. The ball is in Anthropic's court. And G-Money says software is coming.
Evergreen.
Evergreen. And always there. Yeah, interesting stuff. I don't know. I love AI. I love cloud, man. I've been using all these different AI. I keep saying this, but I'm just so amazed by it every time I use it.
I think it's flawed, John.
Whatever. I like to call it cloud. Okay. It's my Steve Hilton. I'm a former British monarch. It's just my accent coming through.
There you go. St. Claude, Minnesota, right?
Yeah, that's it. Nailed it. St. Claude, Minnesota. Shut up.
Yeah, man, what an interesting time.
It is. Yeah, I think you're right about David Sachs and the AI czar. David Sachs says his time as Trump's crypto and AI czar has ended. Wow. What a time it was. Did we ever get the strategic Bitcoin reserve even?
You'd have to ask G-Money.
Well, I think we've said his name 3 times now. So
I think it's being stored at MicroStrategy right now.
Oh, that's right. Interesting. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about? I think we covered a lot tonight.
We did cover a lot. We kind of sped through things. Good rhythm, John. Good rhythm.
It was a good rhythm.
Did we miss anything?
I don't know. I was looking at my notes. We got the biolabs. We got Iran. We got the new NSPM. We got Anthropic ban. We got the election stuff. We talked about the UFC fights.
I wonder if we'll actually see if Trump will report a use of the discombobulator. I really look forward to that if it happens.
But you mean like during the bombing campaign we had?
Yes. Yeah. Well, when the peace deal does not happen tomorrow. Although, did you see that they were claiming that Trump wants the peace deal to be signed tomorrow
for his birthday
because it's his birthday? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I doubt it's going to happen. It would be funny for him to come out and say they signed it, and then Iran to come out and say no, they didn't. Like that would be funny. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Epstein's been back in the news quite a bit. They're really trying to make that a thing still.
You know, some retarded fellow on Truth Social got mad at something I said in a comment yesterday and said something about the Epstein class, and he just kept writing Epstein class and then saying that I was in the Epstein class. That phrase, that's someone speaking the voice of the television when I hear that phrase. All I can think is, wow, this person really spends too much time on the internet as soon as I hear those two words, because it's just Tucker Carlson saying it over and over and over again. And it's a great way to label anyone. And I would expect that's going to be used quite a bit.
Interesting. I mean, well, did you see the New York Times thing that just happened? Like they came out with this whole video, and it really laid out the op really clear to me, I thought.
Really?
You didn't see that?
No.
Oh, man.
How long is the video?
Like 5 minutes, but we don't have to watch the whole thing.
Okay.
What do I want to search here? New York Times Epstein. I think I spelled Epstein wrong. Okay, here. Makey Haberman and Jonathan Swan.
Watching the Trump administration in 2025.
Would have gotten the impression that the Epstein files were.
And keep in mind, when I say it laid out the op really clearly, to me, the op was an anti-Trump op, right? All these people who made this, put all this lore around the Epstein files and what was in them. Trump never once campaigned on it. He never brought it up unprompted. That was used as an op against him. All the people who made it a big thing were also seemingly the ones that were like kind of handling it and bungling it within the FBI and his administration. It's kind of weird how that works.
A relatively minor issue.
President Trump suggested that nobody cared.
He said that the Epstein story was boring.
That this was a hoax.
These files were made up by Comey. They were made up by Obama.
But what we learned while we were reporting our book, Regime Change, was just how much the Trump administration, up to the highest levels of the government, were paralyzed over how to deal with a growing crisis. Their biggest obstacle was Donald Trump.
Trump wanted it buried. He didn't want to release the files. His staff knew that this was an issue that they couldn't really talk about.
People in his orbit found him snapping at them if they even raised the issue of Jeffrey Epstein.
So over the summer of 2025, you had some of Trump's most senior advisors, the top level of the government, gathered in the Situation Room,
which is typically used for national security or responding to national disasters,
to figure out a way to spin their way out of this.
Not with the president, but among themselves.
It was an issue that came back to bite them, because many of the same senior people who were in the Situation Room were very strong advocates for releasing the Epstein files way back even before the 2024 campaign, and potentially a client list, a list of powerful men who were, the rumors had it, involved in sex trafficking with Epstein. We have seen no evidence that there's a client list.
But the idea of a client list had been popularized by, among others, Trump's future vice president.
John, can you pause that for a second?
Yep.
So I want to make sure that I heard this correctly. Jonathan Swan is saying that in that room, those 6 people were in the Situation Room, and some of those 6 were people who had spent a great deal of time talking about the release of the Epstein files prior to Trump coming back in office. So that's Dan Bongino, Kash Patel. I don't know. I didn't pay enough attention to Bondi prior to have known. I don't think I could imagine Todd Blanche being included in that. I don't think Susie Wiles would be either. And so Cash and Bongino definitely did talk about it a lot. Bondi and JD Vance, I don't know if you know, but those are wild cards to me. And the other two, I would say, definitely did not talk about it because we heard virtually nothing from them about any subject prior to the new Trump administration, right?
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I don't know. I know Cash Patel. I know Bongino, like you said. I don't know Bondi or any of those, what any of them else said. But like these are the people, especially Blanche and Bondi, with a little bit of Cash and Bongino mixed in, who handled the rollout of it and the investigative part of it. Yeah. And it was completely bungled, the entire thing. And I think we get into that here too, but I'm gonna rewind it a little bit so we can hear. Was there something you wanted to say to this too?
No, I think it's important to distinguish between Trump and the administration, because when they say Trump did this, Trump did that, and then they say the administration all the way to the top levels, and like, well, there is a top level. And so if you're saying top levels and excluding the top level, well, then it's people on secondary levels. So just a lot of the way that they're framing this seems very strange to me. Like they are suggesting implications that they're unwilling to state.
Yeah, let me press play here. I was on a different tab.
The Epstein files, way back even before the 2024 campaign, and potentially a client list, a list of powerful men who were, the rumors had it, involved in sex trafficking with Epstein. We have seen no evidence that there is a client list.
But the idea of a client list had been popularized by, among others, Trump's future vice president.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
His future FBI director.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
And his future deputy FBI director.
The Epstein client list, I believe, is going to rock the political world. There's a reason they're hiding it.
After he was elected, his own attorney general appeared to confirm that a client list existed.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
They go through the files and the message changes very substantially. Very quickly, it became clear that Trump himself was mentioned numerous times across these files.
Does not mean that anything said there was verified about Trump or anyone else, but it did mean that releasing the files was a non-starter for the president and his team.
In the coming months, there were internal conversations about, well, what do we do?
In early July, the Justice Department and the FBI released a joint memo with no names attached to it, just letterhead, saying, in fact, there was no client list and that there were no other people who should be prosecuted in connection with Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
And all of a sudden, many of his voters who thought that they were electing a president and people around him to get to the bottom of the Epstein story were suddenly feeling that they were actually part of a cover-up.
How many of you are satisfied with the results of the Epstein investigation?
During this whole period, Trump was just getting more and more fed up.
He was very used to telling his base what to think and having them believe him.
He accused his supporters of being weaklings. He said he didn't want their support anymore.
He used expletives to say this was all fake, and again said this was all the fault of Democrats.
Any attempts that Trump made to downplay the scandal only reinforced suspicions among his base that they were hiding something.
Like, doesn't this clearly outline the op here? To me, it does.
Yes. And again, I would make the same point about Trump's base. They're talking about the people online who claim to be pro-Trump and pro-MAGA in 2024. That's who they believe, or that's who they identify as Trump's base. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's all I want to say. We might as well just finish this thing. We're already 3.5 minutes in.
So at those meetings last summer, when President Trump's most senior aides gathered away from him, the vice president thought that they should put everything out there, that Congress was going to force the issue anyway. Others, like the chief of staff, said absolutely no way the president would be okay with that. There was a conversation about whether Todd Blanche, who was the deputy attorney general at the time, whether he should go on Joe Rogan. The vice president said that he should be the one to go on Rogan.
What they didn't talk about was prosecuting additional men or any kind of widespread justice for the victims. We're talking about a number of women who say that they were victimized and abused by Jeffrey Epstein. Many of them were minors. The discussion in the Situation Room was not about how to give these women a hearing or a chance to tell their stories. These meetings were about how to handle the political fallout around the White House.
What ended up happening is their hand was forced by Congress. They ultimately passed, nearly unanimously, the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Trump was forced to sign it. And what was clear from our reporting is even after that, even after the passage of this bill and the release of so many of these files, the issue didn't go away at all. Maggie and I obtained a document written by President Trump's top pollster, Tony Fabrizio, which described focus groups that were conducted in March of this year.
It was the sixth most important issue raised by voters in this focus group.
Head of crime and safety, the military, data centers. I mean, these are really potent political issues.
I hate the way he says data centers. This is how Steve Hilton says data centers, I bet.
Data centers. I mean, these are really potent political issues that ranked below the Epstein files. More than a year after they first started to try to deal with the Epstein crisis.
He just simply could not make it go away by telling his supporters they should believe him instead of something else.
All right.
Wild.
Good luck with it.
Yeah. Good luck with it. Anyway, let's see if we got any boosts. I think I saw one coming earlier. Just got a couple rants as well. By the way, guys, GART is coming up quick. We are just days away at this point. June 25th through the 28th, Deadwood, South Dakota. It's going to be awesome. If you've got your in-person ticket, which some are still available, including single day, but we're doing a little golf outing on Thursday morning. So make sure you check your emails for that and sign up. Even if you don't want to golf, you can still come hang out and ride in the cart. It's going to be a pretty good time. So make sure you get those tickets and come join us in Deadwood, South Dakota. It's going to be some awesome content. And we got a little exciting new twist we're adding to it. I think you guys will enjoy it. And for boosts, we got 1027JS for $20. Says thanks. Thank you so much, Joe, my fellow North Dakotan. We had Ran132 becoming a Badlander, which means monthly support. We appreciate that. For $10 a month, says thank you for your efforts in providing a community in this time of great disruption.
Mm-hmm.
And then over on Rumble, we have BDR1776 says, I'm so sick of hearing it needs to be by the book. We as Americans have been helping our government commit crimes around the world. It's time for the military to take over already and arrest everybody. That's all we got, man.
Well, all right.
Yeah. So do we have an outro? Do you have an outro?
Damn. I did not even think about that.
Neither. I'm trying to think of any like good funny videos I saw AI, but I can't think of any. Let me do a quick scan. I don't know, man.
We're really messing it up, John.
I know. That's okay though. It happens.
Should we do another Norm Macdonald?
I'd be down for that.
All right, let's do this one. This is a great joke. And maybe this will be topical. There you go.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube right now so we don't get dinged for the Norm Macdonald thing.
It's so funny that we can get capped on YouTube for something that's hosted on YouTube.
It happens all the time though, man. Yeah. All the freaking time. It's ridiculous. But thank you, YouTubers. We appreciate you. We love you. Make sure you guys go and like and follow on all platforms. Okay, there we go. We're off YouTube.